Rachel in Coventry says, could you tell Joe I adore his film?
Oh, thank you, Rachel.
I had spent time yesterday. I had some time off yesterday, so I took myself to the pictures to see Attack the Block. It's the best £6.70 I've spent in ages.
It's very specific.
It's fantastical and action-packed, but grounded in the familiar, and I love all the little details about the tower block. The Union flags and the time-lag lights made me smile. The young cast are a breath of fresh air.
Fresh air.
Fresh air, indeed. The monsters are simple yet effective. Bioluminescent teeth. Amazing, says Rachel, in capital letters. And I left the cinema texting everyone I know, telling them to go and see it as soon as possible. I'm super excited about his future projects. I think Mr. Cornish is one to watch.
Hey.
That's an incredibly...
I'm particularly pleased that she picks up on the cast there, because Attack the Block has 11 actors who were between the ages of 10 years old and 16 or 17 when we shot. They're all new to feature films in terms of speaking roles and major roles. And I think they're amazing. And I hope audiences agree as well. They're an amazing bunch of talented young actors, and I was kind of inspired there a bit by The Outsiders, by memories of The Outsiders, and the incredible cast there, and thinking, wow, wouldn't it be cool to actually be the first film for a few, actors that go on and become stars.
No, I think the cast are really good. I mean, it's, as I said, I did a blog about this a couple of weeks ago when I went to see the film. It's interesting, when I saw it, just before I went in, I spoke to two people who'd both seen it, and one of them hated it and one of them loved it. I mean, literally, like 1 and 5 stars separately. And I went and I saw the film, and I came out and I was somewhere in the middle. And what I thought was, and you may know this already, I think it's really well directed. I'm actually surprised by how well directed it is, because it is your first directing job, isn't it? I think the cast are great. I think they do a really good job. I think they're convincing as those characters, and I like all that exactly the same. I have the same points of reference that you do. I like the same films that you do. My reservation is, I mean, I wanted it to be funnier and scarier. So
Mark, you reviewed Shaun of the Dead and Paul. You didn't review Attack the Block.
Oh, what, in the blog thing?
Yeah.
Well, I think Shaun of the Dead is still the kind of
go back and check it out again and review Attack the Block.
Okay, well, I think that Shaun of the Dead is a kind of high watermark. And I think that what I was trying to do was to contextualise it within...
I think it's fair enough, because it does have Shaun of the Dead on the poster, but it's its own film, It's not
no, it
trying
is.
to be Shaun of the
is.
Dead. And it's absolutely not as funny as Shaun of the Dead. It doesn't intend to be. It's a very different film. It's more like a John Carpenter film.
But what I did say was that actually one of the things of that may be exactly that it's not a comedy. And actually, I think that was something that you said, and I think
that's a good point to make.
No, which I think is important, because in a way I think I went in thinking what I'm going to get is a comedy, and it isn't. And so, in fact, I believe I said that in the blog, that it's not. So the question, therefore, is what exactly is it? And I mean, equally, I understand. I mean, we're just talking about Insidious. There's people who find Insidious absolutely terrifying, and I didn't at all.
I loved it. I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
Well, clearly,
great filmmaker James.
Yeah,
Bond.
and
Lovely
clearly,
bloke.
I'm out.
Made for $1 million.
No, I know.
Incredibly resourceful.
And
really
I think I am demonstrably out of step with that. I mean, Kim Newman said the same thing, and Kim has seen more horror films than I have. More horror films than almost anyone alive.
This is the deal. The beauty about film is that it lasts a long time. It's theatrical, it's DVD, it's television. Films have a long time, and many great films we love are misinterpreted. And it's man, I was a critic for 6 months. I did I did Back Row, and it's tough. It made me dislike films. It started to distort my mind. It really did, so I had to stop. And I'm not... You guys are amazing, and I love your show, so I'm not in any way insinuating that's happened to you. But it's true that...
rotted?
No,
I'm saying that...
well, yes, it wouldn't be the first.
I'm saying that if a film is a little bit different or a little bit challenging, sometimes it takes a while to understand it for what it is and clear out of your head whatever the poster might suggest it might be like. Do you know what I mean? To take it on its own time.
No, sure.
And as a film consumer, I find myself... sometimes, slagging a film off, load of rubbish.
Did you think?
Then I will watch it again. I'll think.
Okay, but did you think I slagged it?
Do you know what I mean?
Stop.
Did you,
okay, hang on. Let's play a clip.
Of the clip of the film.
Can I answer Mark's question though? No, I don't at all. I thought yours was but it was a particular review. You were doing your straight out of the cinema.
No, exactly. I was doing an immediate response to it. Yeah, sure.
And Mark, I love you. I think you're an incredibly clever critic. I genuinely do. But I wanted to hear you talk about my film
more,
and I heard you talk about Shaun of the Dead.
Okay, well, I think that's a valid criticism,
and you're very welcome to dislike it.
I know.
You're very welcome.
As I think I was trying to say, what was interesting was I didn't dislike it. I found myself right in the middle, and actually, the thing that surprised me the most, then we'll go to clip, is the polarised reaction that it produced, because I mean, as you know,
between those two critics, actually, if you read the rest of the critics, those people are an exception.
Yeah, no, they are, and it was quite strange. But I have read a review of it which hates it, and I have read reviews of it that really, really love it. But actually, there is an achievement in making something that has polarised people that much. I mean, if I was in your position, I would think that that's actually quite a result.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate what you're saying, but I don't think it has polarised people that much.
Okay.
I think you're talking about...
Far be it from me to play a clip and to illustrate the point that I'm making, but here is a clip from Joe's film. Play it now, quick.
Oh, no, man. Right. Hey, we broke it up. Bro, what is that, cuz? Ain't no is. That's a wasp, bro. I told you, some exotic creature like a monkey thing, innit? That fell out of the sky, bro. Trying to tell me it's raining monkeys. Ain't no monkey, man. Monkeys ain't bald, innit? Nah, that's some weird thing, fam. I don't even know what that is. I ain't even gonna say. Yeah, you know what that is? I'll tell you what that is. That's an alien, bruv. Believe it. Must have come from outer space trying to take over the Earth, innit? When I landed in the wrong place, though, you get me? The wrong place. Welcome to London. Welcome to the ends, brother. This is the block, fam. The B-L-O-C-K.
Such finely tuned dialogue.
But that's it. I mean, I would have thought, clearly, if you hadn't gone down and hung around in those youth clubs, you could never in a million years have written that.
No, but you don't want to exaggerate this divide between young people and people of our age. And it's interesting.
Really?
How...
But you don't
speak because like there are issues with young people in inner cities in Britain, and one of the issues is that they are... That people are sort of afraid to engage with it because they feel it's so different. And do you know what I mean? And it's fine. It's fine to enjoy that.
But that's
language.
The whole point of that language is that it's their language. Exactly. It's not our language.
I don't think it is.
But you made the reference to Clockwork Orange. In the case of Nadsat, that is the point. It's the whole thing about that.
But Nadsat was a language invented by Burgess as a literary device. The language in Attack the Block is taken as much as possible from.
But you make that point in the film where you have a posh white guy who's a drug addict.
You see
and then he makes a point about he says jokes, and then they take the mickey out of him because it's clearly inappropriate.
Yeah.
Therefore, the language is divisive.
Yeah, to a degree, but it's having fun with that idea. The film isn't saying, "Oh, this is wrong. This is, that kid shouldn't be there." It's just being playful.
Yes, the point I'm making is that their language is that they don't. I think if you have that as the way you speak with your mates, you do that, and you don't want grown-ups in inverted commas to take part.
Yeah, that's true.
It's rock and roll. It's their thing. We don't want you to like our music. This is us. So therefore, it's like middle-aged people talking about dissing and all that.
Possibly,
just don't do it.
No,
it just
absolutely.
doesn't work.
But it may also. I mean, that is also a case with in terms of who the audience for the film is. For example, I mean, it may well be that the film plays very different. I mean, you've played it in America, haven't you? Now, I actually have to stand corrected on this. My suspicion was that, in fact, outside of England, that people would struggle with it. But in fact, that wasn't the experience that you had.
No, people in America, they don't know who I am. They've got no idea who Joe Cornish is. They just saw the film completely cold. And I guess it is very much inspired by American films, by genre films and all that.
But did they have any linguistic, did they have any language trouble with it? Because you know all the famous stories about when Trainspotting was picked up, that the Miramax talked about whether or not to subtitle it.
Sure. Well, Trainspotting was, I think, in the first reel, they re-recorded some of the dialogue just for enunciation purposes. But all the way back to Gregory's Girl, which was a hit in the States.
And of course Sinking Feeling, which,
And Snatch and Lock, Stock. It just refers back to that stuff I was saying earlier about the language being exotic and science fictional. They really understood it. And at the end of one of the South by Southwest screenings, I said, "Hey, did any of you guys find the language a problem?" And the whole audience screamed, "No!"
I want to read this email because we're almost out of time. Ross in Dundee says, "I made a trip to my local Waldorf City on Wednesday to see Attack the Block. For a first film, I was surprised to see Joe use these. Non-experienced actors in lead roles, CGI aliens, explosions, fight scenes, filming on location. Despite this cocktail of tricky components, the result was a truly polished and enjoyable film with good laughs and impressive performances from the young cast. I look forward to see more of Joe's work in the future."
That's terrific, yeah.
And my assumption is that it's going to do very well because it's got a lot of attention. It's going to be top 5 next week, isn't it?
Well, who knows? I'm really proud of it. I'm hugely proud of the cast. I think it is very different, and I'd really like people to go and check it out. And like I say, films last for a long time. It's not necessarily about the weekend. It's about films last for good films.
Yeah, but it'd be nice if it went top 5, though, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
The last time we went late to the news was because Aaron Sorkin was on.
Hey,
No, it's 'cause
I'm
of
very
you.
proud.
You're the second person.
Wow.
How many lines are you going to get in Tintin?
Oh, I'll tell you that when we're off the air. Let's go to the news.
There's
This is,
10, he
Radio
said. He just
5.
mouthed 10.
And when's your next radio show?
Tomorrow morning.
Have you got time
To do what?
to go and do a radio show?
Not really.
You've got a movie to promote.
Yeah,
Are you
not
allowed to
really.
promote your movie on your
No,
show?
no.
So it'll be the only Joe Cornish program.
So you're not allowed to talk about it?
No, and I don't want to be honest.
Oh, no, fair
I
enough.
want to keep them
Yeah,
separate.
yeah.
Joe Cornish, thank you very much.
Hey,
indeed.
thank you
Appreciate
both.
coming
It's
in.
an honour
Thanks
to
very
be
much
on your
indeed.
show.
Thank you for
Absolute
coming.
honour. Thank you.